Am I the a-hole for not changing my wedding date? Plus updates. Original post. My fiancé 23 male and I 24 female got engaged in April. We picked a very special day to honor my best friend, who passed away last year, his birthday. Everyone in my family knew about our engagement, and they were excited for us. Several months passed, and we were able to get the wedding venue we wanted, and I even found the dress of my dreams. It seemed like everything was going smoothly until my cousin, 24 female, got engaged. At first, I didn't think too much about it. I was just happy for her. A few days after their announcement, I got a call from my mom, and she told me that my cousin picked the exact same day and refused to change it. When we asked why, she said, "I refuse to get married before my other cousin, and that is the soonest we can get married. I am not changing mine, so me, will just have to change it." This has been going on for a few weeks, and my mom has lost sleep over it. My dad is at the point of cutting all contact with him, and every time I think about it, I feel sick. It really bothers everyone that she values one family member over the other. The worst part is my great-grandma now has to decide whether she's going to my wedding or hers. If this day didn't mean so much to me, I would have caved and changed the date. But I had my wedding date picked out first, and everything is already paid for, including my wedding dress. Am I the a-hole? Edit. After 5 days of being engaged, she is claiming that she already paid for her church rental and venue rental. Her parents keep saying they will work it out so that we can both get married the same day, meaning they are expecting me to get married at 8 a.m. so she can get married at 2 p.m. Even after explaining the importance of this day, she refuses to change it. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Not the a-hole. You had the date first. She can't push you off it. Any drama is her doing, not yours. Screw her. Also, not the a-hole. But if you're going to screw cousin, screw her hard. Tell great-gran there's no pressure to attend the actual wedding, but set up a fancy luncheon date with her beforehand. Tell her you understand how hard it is to choose between you, so you're giving her a special day to take away the stress. Bring your dress for a first look try-on. Ask your venue if they have a marketing video you can watch together. See if your service providers, florist, baker, or caterer can contribute anything, even photos or a video, for a reasonable additional fee. Ask your great-gran about her wedding, look at photo albums, ask for happy marriage advice. I did this with my best friend's mother. She was doing chemo and couldn't attend my wedding, and I promised that if great-gran is a nice person, it will be one of the most wonderful and memorable bonding experiences you'll ever have. As a bonus, you'll be so far up on the high road that your crappy cousins won't be able to touch you with a 10-foot pole. Don't forget to take heartwarming pics of that day and have a friend post them to your socials 15 minutes before your cousin's wedding. This is both extremely thoughtful to grandma while also a massive FU to cousin, and I'm here for it. I'm not sure if I understood her reasoning correctly. She does not want to marry before you, and you should change the date? But what if you change your date to something later, or postpone it an entire year? No, she doesn't want to get married before her other cousin on her mom's side. My date is for next year. I'm not postponing it any more than it already was. Please tell me you are planning on not attending her wedding. She sounds horrible. No one from my family will be attending her wedding. She has made it clear that she does not care who she steps on to get her way. Now for the first update, I just got off the phone with my great-grandma, and she is holding out hope that someone will change dates. My mom also informed me that my aunt and uncle, her parents, are expecting me to change the date of my wedding, and within the next couple of days, I will be getting blown up with threats if I don't change the date. Second update. I am now pondering moving the wedding one day forward since her pastor won't do weddings on Fridays due to the church being reserved for his study group. This also honors my friend because he and I were very petty. It also allows my grandma to go to both weddings and will give my immediate family an excuse to not go to her wedding because we will be too tired. I don't want to move my wedding date, but I don't want to cause any more stress for my grandma since she is very old and fragile. I just don't think she can take any more stress. She refuses to have one, plus none of the priests in our area do Friday weddings. Third update. My fiancé and I have decided to change the wedding day forward. After weighing the pros and cons, we decided that's for the best. After speaking with my great-grandmother today, I couldn't let her worry any more than she already is. I love the idea of having our wedding on the 22nd, but it isn't worth the worry and stress my grandma is going through. At the end of the day, I want nothing more than to just get married to my significant other, so the date change isn't going to affect my end goal. Thank you all for taking my side and helping me come to the final conclusion. Final update 3 years later. I had honestly forgotten about this post until I got a random notification from it. It wasn't just my cousin who decided to pull wedding shenanigans. A month before my wedding, my future brother-in-law and now ex-sister-in-law decided they wanted to get married only 3 weeks after us. This put so much stress on my in-laws and made my mom so furious that she decided to give everyone assigned seats at the reception to make sure they were not allowed to sit next to each other the entire time. Way to go, Mom! Wedding dramas aside, our wedding was absolutely gorgeous. We decided to move the day forward because my cousin wasn't budging on moving the date, and I really didn't want my great-grandma to be sad about missing one of her granddaughter's weddings. For the middle of October, it was sunny and 70 degrees out, and as we said our vows during the golden hour, 2 rainbows formed right over us. It was absolutely perfect, and I couldn't have asked for a better day. As for the cousin's wedding, they were both sh-faced before walking into that church, as well as the priest. My great-grandma was so disappointed she called my grandma to come and pick her up at 6. They are still married, but everyone kind of just ignores them now. My cousin and I are still at odds, but we seem to be more civil now because I just don't have the energy to fight over something that's in the past. As for me and my husband, we have since moved into a house that we can now call our own, adopted another cat, and are very happily married. I apologize profusely for leaving everyone in suspense for 3 years, but I'm glad I can finally put the stress of wedding planning behind me and just enjoy my cozy, quiet life with my husband and fur children. It all turned out fine, but I find it frustrating OP ended up moving her date in the end. OP's cousin got the date by being the bigger a-hole. I don't know why all the family didn't just pick OP's wedding to go to. You shouldn't give in to what basically amounts to emotional terrorism. OP picked the date first, and it's an emotionally significant date, and the cousin just wants to win a contest with someone else about being married first. With a situation that clear-cut, I'd not feel bad about missing her wedding at all. She scheduled it to conflict with someone else's wedding. OP is the boat steadier to the cousin's boat rocking. I know it feels that way, but in my opinion, it spoke more to OP's character that she did it out of love for her great-grand. I'm just glad there was some semblance of justice where the universe granted OP a truly magical moment with the rainbows, and great-grand saw the cousin for the trash she is. Agreed, if OP had given in to avoid conflict, then that would be disappointing, but she did it to relieve her great-grand of the stress the cousin had put on her. That's classy behavior, and more than that, it's love. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my dad the down payment money back after he pulled out of helping us buy a house? My fiancé, 30 male, and I, 28 female, have been saving for a house for years. Back in February, my dad, 58 male, offered to gift us $15,000 to help with the down payment. He said he wanted to see us in our first home while he's still around, and made a big deal about how it was no strings attached. We found a place in April, put in an offer, and it was accepted. As part of the process, I transferred my savings and his $15,000 into our joint account, so the mortgage broker could see proof of funds. Everything was on track until last month, when my dad suddenly said he needed the $15,000 back. Apparently, his girlfriend's son, whom I barely know, is in legal trouble and needs help more urgently than we do. He said we are young, can keep saving, and family comes first, meaning his girlfriend's kid. Problem is, the $15,000 is already tied up in closing costs and deposits. If we give it back, we lose the house and thousands in fees. I told him we can't return it now without ruining our deal. He blew up saying I'm choosing a house over a family and that he only gave us the money because he thought we would understand if something came up. Now some in my extended family is calling me selfish, while the others say a gift is a gift and I don't owe him anything. My fiancé is furious and says we shouldn't give in, but I hate that this could permanently damage my relationship with my dad. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give back my dad's down payment money? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. If we give it back, we lose the house and thousands in fees. He also said, no strings attached. Why is he giving $15,000 when he seemingly doesn't have any other real savings? I think his new girlfriend is freaking out about the money and thinks everything should be spent on her kid's legal trouble. Stick to your guns. If you cave, you'll not only lose the house, you'll set the precedent that you're a piggy bank he can raid whenever he wants. That's my fiancé's biggest worry too. Not the a-hole. My uncle did this, promised my cousin tuition money, then took it back last minute for his new wife's shopping spree. Some people just love the idea of generosity more than the actual commitment. Wow, that sounds rough. Honestly, I'm starting to see my dad's promise as just talk. Real help means sticking to your word, not backing out when it's inconvenient. My brother had a friend whose dad promised to pay the tuition if she got into a very prestigious master's program. She busted her butt and got in. My brother was with her when she got her acceptance, and she was laughing and crying while all her friends cheered her. And guess what? Dad reneged. Well, sweetie, I didn't think you'd ever get in. So she gritted her teeth, took out loans, waitressed, lived on beans and her restaurant's leftovers, and barely slept for 2 years as she worked through the program. It led to about a year's worth of paid internships and a great career. And guess who came by later asking for money? Well, sweetie, it's time you paid me back. She was able to sweetly say that she was paying back the bank and government, whom she really did owe, and whom she paid back in record time with her great career, only she wisely never shared that with him. For the rest of his life, she just kept saying, sorry dad, student loans, you know. Last story. Am I the a-hole for changing my niece's diaper and then saying I'd never watch her again? I am 18 male, and the people relevant here are my sister, 24 female, my niece is 1, and my mom, 50s female. My sister was over with my niece a few days ago. The 4 of us all went to lunch, and it was nice. My sister then came back to the house to hang out more. My mom mentioned going to a cafe near our house for coffee or ice cream. I said I'd pass, but my sister wanted to go. She asked me if I wouldn't mind watching my niece, and I happily said yes. She said they'd be gone no more than an hour and a half. Soon after they left, I realized my niece's diaper was dirty, so I changed her. We then went for a walk around the neighborhood, came back and started watching a movie. My mom and sister returned after 2 hours, which didn't bother me at all because I love spending time with my niece. My sister asked if she had been good, and I said yes. I told her what we did and also mentioned that she had pooped because I thought parents ought to know that kind of stuff about their babies. My sister was like, oh, okay, I'll change her now. And I told her I already did, over an hour ago. She looked absolutely horrified and said I should not have done that, claiming I crossed a boundary. I was genuinely confused. My sister has never acted like this before. I asked why, and she said that a man shouldn't be changing a girl's diaper. She went on to say that even her own husband, niece's dad, only changes her in emergencies. I asked if she would have rather I let her sit in a dirty diaper, and she didn't respond. They left soon after this, and my sister was like, I'm not mad anymore, but ask me before doing something like that next time, okay? I told her there wouldn't be a next time, and I wouldn't be watching my niece again. I said I'm not watching a child if I have to ask whether it's okay for me to change their diaper. If a child under my care has a dirty diaper, I'm changing it, so I won't watch her again. She left upset. My mom was witness to all this but stayed quiet. When my sister left, I asked what she thought. She said I absolutely did nothing wrong, but that she also understands where my sister is coming from. I feel gross about this whole thing. It makes me feel weird that my sister acted this way about me changing a literal diaper. I love kids, and I'm going to college for a career in healthcare and will literally be working with children, some of whose diapers I will undoubtedly be changing. And this isn't even a matter of not knowing how to properly change diapers for female anatomy. My girlfriend and I babysit her little cousins probably at least every other week, and I have learned to change their diapers if needed, male or female. Am I the a-hole for this? Even her husband is only allowed to change his own kid's nappy in an emergency? Your sister needs therapy, not the a-hole. My husband was the first and only person to change my newborn for the first 3 days because he wanted to. There is nothing sexual about being hygienic. My husband changed all diapers until night 20. He was zonked, so I got up. He was mildly upset the next day that I didn't get him up. Since he was going to be going back to work soon, and I was going to be the at-home parent, he wanted to do all he could for her when he was home. He knew he'd be missing out on a lot, and so it meant a lot to him to do what he could. Whether that was changing diapers, laundry I didn't get a chance to do, you name it. I will never forget the time we went out to get dinner, and she needed to be changed. So he took her to change her and came back visibly bothered. There was no changing table in the men's room, and he wasn't going to stick her on the floor. He was heartbroken that he was unable to do something as basic as making sure she had a comfortable, dry bum. So I took her and changed her. After that, we made sure wherever the 3 of us went, or the 2 of them, had changing tables in the men's room. Our daughter is 15 now, and he's at every school meeting, every Girl Scout family night, everything. The 2 of them are so close. If there ever was a daddy's girl who had her dad wrapped around her finger, that's them. People who think that fathers shouldn't be allowed to take care of the basic needs of babies are a-holes who are either sexist against men or projecting. Not the a-hole. If your sister thinks you're a pedo who'd diddle a child, then she shouldn't leave the child unattended with you. Period. She also thinks her husband is a pedo by that logic, because she won't let him change the girl's nappy either. WTF. She needs therapy.